This
There you go.
is He Said, She Said. Brought to you by the Urban Breakdown Podcast.
Number one, baby.
Hey, man, let me hear your mic.
Let's go.
Man, your mic is
She
off.
said, what did they say? He
Can't hear you,
said,
man.
she
You're
said, what
muted.
did they say?
I'm
He
muted?
said, she said, what did they say? He said, she said. Check out what they say.
That light right
What
there,
did
your
he
light
say?
is
What
right.
did he
Wait,
say?
your light.
What did she say? What did she say?
Oh, no, I
What did he
can't
say?
see
What
you.
did he say?
The light above your
What
head.
did she say? What did she say? Hey.
There you go.
Don't like my light, huh?
So your light's fine. I just don't like it for video. That's
All right.
All right.
Hey, finally got it together. Okay.
I get the screen, man. Welcome to another episode of He Said, She Said. Today's episode is Miss. Damn it.
I'm Odie, and we Ricardo's on the line from Arizona. Hey, haven't seen him in forever.
What up?
Funny story, I didn't even recognize him. I was like, hello, I'm Odie. Like, who are you? And Mercedes has joined us today. Even though she's a very busy person, we appreciate her joining today's call. And this is Blue, the tongue-tied one. Basically, we are talking about online dating today. And today's episode is titled Plenty of Fish in the Sea. I like that title just because Plenty of Fish is probably one of the most popular dating apps. And I just wanted to get everybody's perspective on what their experience is with online dating.
All right.
There seems to be a stigma attached to it that kind of ties into some recent current events.
Oh, yeah.
That ties into some recent events. There's always like a research stuff we'll get to a little bit later, but I just wanted to do a round table discussion and see if everybody has had experience with online dating, and what that experience looked like for you.
I have. The guy I talked to now, I met him online. I met him on Facebook. And at first it was like I would ignore him a lot because I had never really done the online dating thing. And
What
then
app
I was like, Facebook.
Facebook. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and some.
How did that work? Like, were you like in a group together and then?
No, I'm gonna tell you what the weirdest thing that happened. Okay, so I was talking to this other guy, just talking to, kind of dating on and off, and me and him stopped talking, and he ended up commenting on this particular person's post on Facebook. Now, my ex-husband saw the ex guy or the other guy comment. And he was like, he said, your ex-boo always comment on something. You know, my ex-husband's trying to be slick and sly. And I was like, I said, why are you being nosy? And I went and looked at the comment. And then I was like, okay. But so the post was about cheating. And I was like, my ex-husband said, you have no right to comment on anything about cheating with your cheating ass. So anyway, after that, the guy who made the post, inboxed him, and him and my ex-husband were going back and forth. And I said, don't pay him no attention. He's a cheater. He can't comment on cheating. And it actually started from there. I started talking to the guy who made the post, all because my ex-husband wanted to be petty about ex-boo. So that's where it came. Yeah. So it just kind of happened. And I didn't like go in his inbox, or he didn't go in mine or anything like that with intentions of talking to each other, but that's where it started. So I guess I can thank the ex-boo and the ex-husband for meeting him. So I'll take that. But yeah, it's actually pretty scary because some of the stories that I've heard, like of people meeting people online that they don't know. Now, this situation isn't scary because it's been a while now, but just the concept of online dating, it's actually a pretty scary thing. Like, you can meet a killer or a serial killer in person or whatever, but online, I think people's intentions and they can hide who they are a lot better by approaching people online.
But see, that's the thing I will say about Facebook, though, like, and Bumble also does a pretty good job of this. Bumble and Facebook usually use like your sphere of influence, like your friends, your family. You can easily be like, oh, I saw Blue, he's cute. Can you tell me about him? Like, is he a good guy? And then you can kind of get a little more insight into who the people are. Like, if you are online pretending to be some sort of baller or whatever, I can easily go ask your friends, like, oh, well, what do they really think about you? So that's what I do like about it. Bumble in particular does kind of tie your connections together. And then it also lets the woman reach out to initiate like talking first, so you're not being bombarded with just like random guys hitting you up or whatever. But
I like that concept.
Yeah. Ricardo, what's your experience? Like, I know Ricardo has done online dating because we were like in the thick of it at the same time and kind of struggling in a lot of the same areas. But I'm just curious what your insight is now looking back on it.
What was that? Oh, my experience with dating?
Yes, with online dating.
Oh, damn. As you know, I'm not a real big fan of online dating. I mean, currently right now, I am I guess single. I am dating out there at this point. You know, me and my ex, we're no longer dealing with one
Oh my
another.
gosh, we're getting exclusives right now. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, my mind is all blown up all over the place. But anyway, damn, now I'm really fucked up. Ugh, all right. So, okay.
Yeah, but I'm kind of spoiled with the Southern hospitality over there. You know, moving from North Carolina. Over here, it's not so much. You know, over here, people are pretty much standoffish. They're to themselves for the most part. And, you know, I'm not really big on the whole online dating scene, you know, so I went ahead and did the whole group meet situation and met a couple people that way. And, you know, to me, I feel like it's better when you're interacting with people amongst, you know, in group environments, if that makes sense.
I will say I do like
I mean, currently right now, I mean, that's what I've been doing for the most part. You know,
I mean, I like groups like GroupMe, but my only problem with that is like you're fishing out of the same pool. And I always get the sense that like people have hooked up and then you kind of come into the group and then you don't know who's hooked up with who or like who's,
Charles
you know,
and I ran into that phenomenon.
That's what I don't like. That's what discourages me from dating those groups. I like to network and connect with people, but I don't want to necessarily date or sleep with people in those groups because it just seems like it gets really messy really quick.
That sounds like an orgy. Sorry.
I mean, if that's your bag, I am not mad at it, but it is not mine.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds like a lot of sharing and you don't know who. Yeah, it would be uncomfortable for me. Like, I'm all for certain things in relationships, like polyamory and all this stuff. But that right there, that type of dating, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I have to meet people individually.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you brought up that the story just like about online dating because that was a stigma that I was kind of hinting at earlier, how people say, oh, like you should meet that guy online because he could be a serial killer or whatever. And
it's scary. Like, the thought of it is scary.
What was that serial killer's name in the 70s? Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy. Uh-huh. You don't think that man went grocery shopping? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I said, it could be. You can meet a serial killer like I said, at the gas station. But it's just the point that people have the ability to hide themselves online better, much better online than they do in person. Like, they can just hide who they are. They can lie about who they are because where you meet them is where you're going to have most of your conversation with them on the phone, online.
I will say, yeah, it probably does make, and especially too, it makes people more vulnerable. You know, because like you said, they're hiding behind certain things, and meanwhile, like time is not stopping, right? So, and this is why I probably love Catfish because people are establishing these relationships and they're saying like, I just love talking to him every day. He makes me feel so good. And then the relationships are progressing. So then it gets harder to walk away from it, even when you know that there's a lie there. And so I will say, yeah, that's probably like the biggest thing with online dating. People just lie about who they are and their intentions. And it may start off one way and they're just out here trolling people. But
pretty much
recently, a Spring Lake woman was raped after meeting a man on Craigslist. So I'm just going to stop right there because, nigga, it's Craigslist. Yeah, Craigslist. Like, who the fuck is meeting people on? I would not meet anybody on Craigslist to sell anything.
I mean, people go on back page and meet people. So.
I mean, but I thought Backpage was like, I thought people know what's up. Like, isn't that for the sole purpose?
No, Backpage is just like Craigslist. That's the point of like selling stuff and buying stuff and dating, and the concept of both websites are exactly the same. It's just that people. What'd you say, Blue?
The only thing I know Craigslist, back page for was
selling ass.
Selling ass.
No, I want you guys to go look at Backpage. Backpage is set up exactly like Craigslist.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
I'll take your word.
No, I'm just saying when you start out, it comes. It's like a bunch of like what are you looking for? Cars or whatever. Then there's this little section at the bottom that says dating, single, stuff like that. And then when you get into the singles, hey, $45 for a massage and a happy ending or something. So
that sounds like some heroin bitch prices.
Yeah. I mean, but you can still buy cars and houses on Backpage. It's exactly like Craigslist. Matter of fact, the site looks identical almost.
Really? I've never
those back pages that promote the cars and all that stuff is probably cross promoted on Craigslist, and that's the front to make back page look legitimate.
Yeah, so ain't nobody actually buying. There's actually no transaction. All right, yeah, that's probably pretty accurate. It's crazy because that crazy ass story that you sent to us that just seemed like some sort of like trap novel where the woman she was a waitress at Hooters, and then she met a girl who claimed to be a dancer, but she was really basically turning tricks, and then they go down to Florida and all this other crazy shit happens.
That's just bananas.
That story is crazy as hell, but I do remember like Backpage being part of that storyline, and it was just crazy to me. But getting back to this story, this woman is in Spring Lake, North Carolina. It says it's issuing a crime alert for online daters, and the woman basically said that she met a 43-year-old or a 37-year-old man. She's 43 herself, which I'm also going to stop right there because, sis, you're old enough to know better. I mean, I just feel like there's no age limit on online dating, but there's certain ages that you should be where you're like, okay, you should have used more common sense in that approach. Like,
common sense ain't so common.
Clearly not. And I do want to ask this question to the group. As far as like, have you had any red flags or like terrible ass experiences with online dating where you're like, ooh, I've definitely learned from that. This is what I'm going to do differently next time.
For me, no, because my first online dating experience is the person that I'm still dealing with now. And I met him last year in July. So no bad experience yet. I mean, I've had other people try to come at me like in my inbox. I had a weird one today. And he asked me, which this wasn't online dating at all, but you know how people still will approach you on dating sites. But he was like, are you good on money? And I said, yeah, I'm good. Why, stranger? And he was like, because I got to wait for you to make money. He said, but I don't want to tie your life up into my BS. Blue, I'm going to send you these screenshots. What the fool said, he actually does, floored me. I said, one, why would you put it on social media? And two, you know that's not something you just offer somebody in their inbox unless you're a cop yourself. So it was weird, but then he is a real person. So it was weird. He basically offered me to help him move some stuff. It was weird. So it was just, that's another reason why I'm not on those sites anymore. I found what I want, I'm good. So no bad experiences here because my first real experience was like, and those type of creeps like that, that's what pushes me away from it. If this doesn't work out, I'm going to meet somebody at the library next time. I don't know.
Well, I met the world's biggest liar online. And so some of what Mercedes was saying as far as people hiding who they are definitely resonates with me, because this guy definitely tried to pretend that, like, I mean, he lied about him being in a relationship. He lied about the existence of his children. He lied about his home being his, like, it was basically in the girl's, like, the woman's name that he was dealing with. He lied about a lot of shit. But again, it just, for me, it didn't take much for me to put two and two together to be like, okay, something's amiss here. I don't want to deal with it. But I also feel like the odds of me meeting him in public were just as great, and like being roped into the bullshit were just as great as if we would have met online. So like, I don't like to stigmatize online dating to be like, oh, like, you know, all the niggas online ain't shit. Like, no, because I know Blue in real life. I know Ricard in real life. I would definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say that they are good guys. I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the pool too. And not to mention I'm in the pool. So like, I'm
yeah, right. Your liar is typical. you're gonna get your liar. That's one that you can't avoid. You're gonna get your baby daddy. You're gonna get the one who got a bunch of kids who don't take care of them. Those are guys that you're gonna meet right here in the Carolinas. You can't avoid those guys. They're gonna happen. But the ones that are rare are the ones who you're gonna even meet your married man at the grocery store on aisle 5. The ones that are rare are your serial killers, your criminals, drugs, bank robbers, whatever. I think you'll meet them more so because the people who are around them probably know who they are. They're more likely to put on this fake persona like they're so good online because they can't present that to the local women in their area because they know them. Mm-hmm. So they have to put off this fake, oh, I'm this great guy, I'm the guy of your dreams. That's why my grandma always told me, she said 2 things. Never tell the new guy why you and the last one ended because he'll think you'll accept anything. And 2, also never tell him what you feel your ideal man is because he will try to become it verbally.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Now grandma is really on to something, especially with that last sentiment. It's literally giving them the keys, like to the playbook, the guide to the playbook. Like, why the fuck would I tell you what I'm looking for so you could just regurgitate that back to me and not show me? Yeah, I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. But there's a lot of women that I notice in their profiles will say like looking for this, and men too, obviously. But like my friends have put up online profiles and said like I'm looking for this. Like I just feel like things should be a lot developed organically, and that's not the case. Like,
well, I guess to give you guys like a perspective of the flip side, because I mean I'm pretty open about who I am. I like women too. And women are worse than men. They are bigger liars.
I can't speak to none of that. But when you say worse,
they're bigger liars. Yeah, like they are horrible liars. Like they'll lie like about having boyfriends. I had one lie about how many kids she had and all kind of stuff. So I kind of stick to men because even though they are pathological liars, women are worse. Way worse. Yeah, so
it's good to know. It's good to know.
Yeah, so men, when you're online talking to these women, I haven't met one to tell the truth about who she is yet.
Well, you know what, Ricardo, you can actually you can share your tidbit because Ricardo claims to know whether or not a woman has had children based on how her shoulders look. So
my shoulders.
The shoulders.
Hold on. Tell me, read my shoulders. No.
Hey.
So you can't.
I mean, if you're not blessed up there, and you have broad shoulders, 9 times out of 10 you have, a couple kids, in your household. At least that's what I've encountered.
He got me. Hold on, he got me looking at myself. Wait a minute. You're not an expert until you can tell quantity behind those shoulders. So
he was oh, that's some bullshit right there, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, okay, I guess. But I mean, your body does change when you're pregnant. I'll give you that. So maybe he's right.
So I see saggy titties or something, but not no shoulders.
And after 5 kids, I still have perky boobs. So I can't agree with that part. Blue. Below the camera, Blue. And I mean, speaking of kids, I have 5 children, and I mean, I don't see a big change in my body, but you could be right because we do change when you're pregnant. You get all weird looking and square looking and round and square at the same time. It's weird.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. It kind of makes sense because, I mean, you're carrying what? How many pounds?
I mean, I remember one of my pregnancies, I went from like 120 to 199. So you carry some weight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So your back is developing, your shoulder. So, I mean,
you broaden like a linebacker.
Right.
Dude.
It's damn Arizonians, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. With their funky
there's a lot over here, man.
I don't know.
For you though, do you guys know anybody who has had real success with online dating, like happily ever after? One thing I look for, and this is why I've never tried this website, what's the one that? Oh, Tinder. Tinder. Everybody kind of notes for like being a hookup website, but
it is.
More success stories on Tinder than I have any other dating websites, and it's kind of got me like wanting to reevaluate. Like, maybe I should try Tinder.
You like hooking up?
No, don't. It's straight hookup, and POF is straight hookup too. Matter of fact, the F does not stand for fish in POF.
Plenty of
Yeah.
fish. All right,
baby.
Yeah, lots of.
And no success on Plenty of Fish. What the fuck is that saying about me?
Well, you need to get out Plenty of Fish.
Or with hooking up, or
Period.
oh.
I mean, I don't know, but like I said, when it comes down to dating, I've heard of one couple. This one was different. She met her husband on Christian Mingle, and some of my other friends, and yeah, I don't know. They're still together now. It's been 3 years, so, and they married after 3 months of meeting each other online. So
they say when you know.
I hope maybe I don't know. I'm just saying,
And I guess that's my thing with group meet. It's the fact that you're meeting people with similar interests.
I gotta find this group meet thing. I gotta find that.
I mean, you have to be invited to a group.
I was gonna say, like, so you're going to something like Christian Mingle. You're going on there to meet people with similar interests.
Mm-hmm.
So of course 9 times out of 10, more than likely, it's gonna probably work out. Just like group meet. So you're meeting people, like right now, I'm doing the whole hiking thing. So I'm trying to find out groups of people out there that enjoy doing the same thing. So I could possibly meet somebody that way,
So is group meet kind of like WhatsApp? Like where you have to build your group up and stuff like that and add your friends based on phone number and all that crap?
Yeah.
It sounds like WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah.
I've
never used WhatsApp for that, but yes. Yes. Yeah, you have to, it's a network of people. That's what I mean by like you just kind of start contaminating the pool. Like it's like, girl, I don't fuck with him. And I mean, there was actually some drama associated with one of the groups I'm not gonna mention here, but am I no, I don't
add me.
It's like that's why I'm just like that's to me why I kind of stay away from that, because
I used to be in one of those.
I don't want to be associated with any type of drama or nonsense. It really is just for me to network with people.
I got one, man. People was just right and left. Matter of fact, me and Charles was in that same group.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was horrible. Man.
That was the Triangle Young Professionals.
I need to be added to some of these groups. I want to see what drama. I've never even heard of group me, so. Well, I don't know, but so far, success. I mean, I'm not married or anything like that. Just dating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's and it's been successful for me. He's weird like me, and we kind of just work, I guess. I don't know. It's like there are a lot of things that I want out of a relationship that it's hard to find in certain people, and I think even with the whole way we met on Facebook, I feel like it may have happened for a reason, because we have the exact same interests, whether it is business, our actual relationship itself, how we address partnership and all that kind of stuff, family, friends, work ethic, all that stuff is pretty much the same. So
as in your boyfriend on this motherfucker. Anyways, next.
So basically what you're saying is I need to be paying attention to the threads on
you might meet your husband in the next comment thread you see on Facebook is what I
Oh, if you're out there, Mr. Future Husband, check out Urban Breakdown. I'm one of the admins on the page, so make sure you're commenting, because
and
comments.
and it helps if you have a hating ex somewhere close by. That helped me, so a hating ex. So yeah, 2 of them. Sorry, 2 of them. I had to thank both of them. Thanks, you guys. So yeah.
So what dating apps would you recommend, Odie?
Dating apps that I would recommend. I cannot say which ones I do recommend. I think next up for me would be to try Coffee Meets Bagel. I've heard a lot of good feedback about that one.
Bagels.
But see, I love bagels. But my thing is, I really it seems like there's a lot of duplicates because I remember one time being on multiple apps and seeing a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it seems redundant, but I do think that timing matters. So rather than like juggling multiple apps, maybe what I should do is just, I think I'm going to cycle out Bumble, which I'm currently using, and maybe start using Coffee Meets Bagel and see how that goes for a little bit, cancel that account, and then cycle on to the next one if nothing happens. Because worst case scenario, I mean, I'm totally fine with just meeting new friends, new people, travel companions, like a nice bay for a vacation or two would be ideal for me right now, right at this moment.
I tried Black People Meet. That one wasn't so bad.
Never tried Black People Meet.
It's pretty decent.
I'm not really impressed with their advertising. It just seems too like I don't know, but it wouldn't hurt to try. No, not too black. It's like,
not too black at all. But
makes me suck my teeth like really like I don't know. But I will say which ones not to use. Tagged is a terrible dating app. I don't even know if it's still around.
Tag is still there.
Like that one.
It is a terrible
to me,
app.
It looks like garbage.
Exactly. The interface is terrible. Like it looks like we're like if serial killers had an app, that would be the app that they'd use.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like the old Black Planet meets old MySpace. That's what it reminds me of.
No, I just don't recommend that one at all.
That's how the national recording artist.
Well, I wish I would have used MySpace in a different way because I could have been coding and shit. I would have been doing, but yeah, and Black Planet too, especially making your page, putting the code on your page,
right?
Yeah,
music and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They should actually kind of bring those back to your profiles. I think if I had to build my ideal dating app, it would be I think Bumble tries to do this, but so like at the bottom of the page it shows you like music artists, like recently listened to artists on Spotify. I have actually left based on those lists. I was like, oh, we don't have anything in common as far as our musical tastes are concerned. And as somebody that enjoys music festivals and concerts, and
I wouldn't get no love because all I listen to is Banks all day.
Yep. See, no. But I would love to like have people have, guys that I'm looking at maybe play music just to see what their theme song is, kind of get an understanding of where their head is at. I think that would be a really cool feature.
Well, everybody, when we try dating, we all have our own preferences, but I have something that I kind of live by. I try not to put people in general in a box. I'm a very free-spirited person, and I don't like putting other people in a box. So instead of approaching it like you said, about music and what he likes and dislikes, I just kind of automatically accept who you are as a human being, and I let you give me reasons to dislike you based on your personality, not what your likes and dislikes are, because they really don't curve the personality.
Yeah, but
because people are who they are already.
MAGA, that tells me enough.
What's MAGA?
Bye.
What's that?
MAGA, the MAGA hats. Make America Great Again.
Make America Great Again. Oh, no, something like that. First of all, I stay within my brown, and I haven't met a brown yet that is a MAGA follower. So,
and I honestly, I've seen
be a blood representing, trying to make the words be different.
No.
All right, Compton. Compton.
It's the affiliates.
I have seen. If I see that you are I'm an equal opportunity dater, but I do lean towards Black men. But if I see you have on shorts that are the American flag, or you're playing golf, or like boating, or any of those MAGA adjacent activities, I am not.
School skiing and shit.
It depends though. But if you, like I said, it's a combination of things, not just one picture on a boat. I mean, like you're bass fishing on the boat in your American shorts with your MAGA hat on, and in the next picture you're golfing or hunting or something. Future
husband, girl.
Okay, first of all, I'm all about dating outside of your race, just trying to find, because I tried, dating outside my race, just like, dates and dinners and stuff like that, hanging out. But the MAGA, I can't do that. Now, a lot of people in general who put that persona out there, a lot of them have changed their mind by now. Maybe they want to take the picture down because a lot of people are not as Trumpy supporters as they were in the beginning. But I will say, dating a Republican, if I find one that's black, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to feel about that. To be honest with you, that would probably be the one thing that would kind of turn me off.
But Republicans are conservative. Wouldn't you want somebody to be conservative?
Not a Trump. Okay, maybe not.
You can
Republican, but not a Trump supporter. I can't do it. I'm with you on that, Odin.
Yeah,
I can't do the Trump supporter.
Yeah,
there's a distinction. I'm not writing off Republicans. I said a Trump supporter.
Okay, that's what I meant. So yeah, I can't do it either.
Yeah. What about you, Ricardo? Would you swipe right? Give some love to a MAGA lady or nah?
Oh no, I'm strictly for my sisters. That's it, man.
What is she? I mean, but what is she's what's her name? The one that thinks she got her card back. Rice? No. The one.
Oh, Tracy Dash.
No, not that one. Okay, well, what about Stacey? Or what's the other one? Omarosa.
She ain't get no card back.
No, hell no. Ugh.
I said
no. She's not even pretty.
Yeah.
That's a bad example.
It's a terrible. Okay, well, Stacey Dash, she's
ugly now too.
Yeah. We know too much about her now, so her looks changed. But okay, well,
nobody's gonna date a Trump supporter. Okay, nobody.
There's nothing appealing about somebody who likes Trump or who's still siding with Trump.
Yeah, at this point.
And maybe at first, I'll be like, I'll give you a pass and see what he do. But as much shit he done put us through, if you support Trump and you're still like, go Trump, fuck you in your life.
Unfollow.
Yeah, because I mean, there's nothing good about our country right now when it comes down to politics. I know it's a whole different episode of 360, but of a urban breakdown. But that wasn't politics. But it's just it's a turnoff. It's definitely a turnoff. So yeah, I would pretty swipe left. Don't pop back up. Have you guys ever swiped left and then the profile pops back up later, like 2 days later when you're swiping through? Here comes that face again. Like I could have swore I swiped left on you.
Yeah, I think that's the idea though. I feel like I've read somewhere that they say if you have to see someone 3 times before you actually connect with them. So it's not always, and I think too, developers understand, and that's what Bumble does a good job of too. They allow you to undo, because if you're in a habit of swiping left and then you accidentally swipe left on someone, you can shake it. You can shake the app and then it will go back.
Are you serious?
So you can undo it and go back and swipe right.
Yeah, I've accidentally swiped left on somebody because I was just like, ew, oh. And that last one, I didn't mean to. And I was like, God, I wish I could bring him back.
Yep.
He's gone. He might come back up a week later. But, he's gone. And then, I'm about to download Bumble. It's happening now.
Yeah, I like that one. So yeah, it sounds like we got our homework. I'm gonna let y'all know what I think of Coffee Meets Bagel when I do.
Good luck in y'all online adventures using dating apps and stuff. I found that I had the most terrible experiences. It's the intros, and it's not good at intros. And like Charles says, I'm better in a group setting to meet people and feel them out through groups.
That's fair.
Versus that one-on-one. Hey, my name's Felipe Blue. Oh, what do you do? And then I think it's the titles of what one, you can't just put in a sentence what I do. I mean, my hands are too many pots. But even if I just went with my main 9 to 5 mental health therapist, whoa, you're gonna be judging me and analyzing me and shit. Blah. You know what I'm saying?
You're overthinking, Blue.
Shit, fuck it.
I'm not gonna lie. When they entrepreneur, I probably think he's unemployed. I have, it's just, that would be hard to categorize you, because then if you say.
So what is a good intro when somebody's hitting you up for the first time in your box? What do they say to make you say, "Oh, okay"?
Just anything. Honestly, I really think that's a really good question. I'm gonna answer it by saying this. I think the biggest thing is just reference something that was on my page, because that at least don't fucking ask me
You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. We've known each other was it for so long? It used to be the one I could call on. Time after time you did me wrong. Forgave and forgave, but still got played. Sick and tired of your same old selfish ways. And I leave and you still wanna navigate. It's so crazy how you think you can run my marathon. It was nice to know you, let me show you. Move forward and pass the baton. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face. Just say yay or nay, gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. Do you miss late nights? My fresh scent, candlelight, or how I knew just what you like. Been a minute since you've been on cloud nine. The memories got you going crazy. Thought of another man with your lady. And you should never get too jealous. To the slums of the earth, how you treating me. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face. Just say yay or nay, gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face. To say yay or nay. I know what route to take. Please don't even fix your face. To say yay or nay, gonna do what I wanna, regardless anyway. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom Tom. You're not my GPS. 2 steps to the left is west. Dollars in the front, head north. Then right to the east and dirty south is where I'm from. I like to do what I do. I like to make moves without you. I like to control my own. If I need further direction, I call Tom